Yo, what's up, thrill seekers? Back at it again, and today I'm going to show you one of the model gliders that I bought off of AliExpress. $11 for this glider, and I put it together yesterday, and I'm going to show you how I went about it. This is my third glider build. Our 2S build, we crashed a couple of weeks ago when it was like 27 degrees out, and it tore the whole front end off because it was so cold that the foam just broke like, I don't know, like ice, I guess. The foam was just brittle and it broke into a bunch of pieces. So I took the servos off of that one, and these are also the ailerons off of that one. And we made some revisions and we tried it again, and this is how we came up with, man. So we kept our factory elevator area, we kept it all stock, and then we just added these 1/2 inch pieces of foam. This is from the other wing we cut off of here, off of the old crashed one, and we put them back here. And this is just a little carbon spar connecting the two, and that's it. We need to fix this. I need to get some smaller carbon fiber rods to stick this connecting rod in, because it does flex. So I think when we do the next one, we may put our elevator servo up here instead and have the arm reaching back this way, because I think having it down so low, this doesn't give you a good angle for this. Even though it did work, and it does work on this one as well, I think we're going to move this servo up to the top here and have the rod coming from the top along the side here. So it'll be basically going the same way. It's just the control arm will be going like this instead of off to the side. So that's one thing we'll be changing on our next one. We used the popsicle stick. We ended up cutting that whole vertical stabilizer off. So let's get into that. So how I went about this one is totally different than how I did the other two. I took a knife, obviously I took the canopy off, but I split it right down the middle. I cut the vertical stabilizer off, and then I split it straight down the middle into 2 halves. Obviously the wings were off as well. And what I did there is I cut this servo opening out. I also cut on the other side. You can see where it came through a little bit. And there's a channel I cut in here for the servo. And I guess we'll go ahead and open this. Use the battery strap to latch down our canopy. But everything's internal. So on my other 2 builds, we did our battery from the bottom. This is all sealed off. This has been double laminated, so if you land it, you're not going to tear it up. The whole plane is laminated, though, if you can see the reflection of the light. We laminated the whole plane here. You can see we added a carbon spar. That's a thick one. I can't remember the size, maybe a 0.05 or something like that. And then we also used our different color popsicle sticks as a wooden brace, because we did take the dihedral out of this wing, and the dihedral started right here. So we laminated it and flattened the wing, and then we have this acts as a spar, but it also is holding the dihedral out of it. So we glued those in and clamped them down. So yeah, no dihedral in this one. We cut 1/4 of an inch off of this stock aileron position, and then we added our 1/2 inch aileron onto there with just using laminate as a hinge. So the laminate is holding that on both sides. So there's that. You can see the Y splitter. I do need to clean this up a little bit. We'll take a razor and we'll cut so that fits in there flush. But there's our Y splitter connecting our 2 servos. Our servos go flat with the wing. And there's our elevator servo. We're just only running 3 channels. Here's our motor using that same motor mount off of the crashed. Here's our motor using the same motor mount off of the crash glider. And let's get in here. It's a tight squeeze, guys, because I saw how that other one broke with the, basically we ran out of battery and we crashed into a tree, and once it hit the tree and it nosed down and it hit the ground, it broke. All of this broke off. It snapped off and we lost pieces, so we couldn't glue it back together. So plus I have 5 of these gliders, so I'm like, instead of wasting time trying to fix that, let's just build a new one. Here's where our battery goes, our 3S 850, but we can also fit the 2S in here as well. We used a Dremel and we cut out the battery compartment while we had it split apart. So all that has been Dremeled out to a precise 1/2 inch. So there's about a 1/2 inch width in here. You can see with my finger there. And it goes all the way back. That cavity goes all the way back from here all the way up to here. So if you need to fit a longer battery in or whatever, if you wanted to add some weight up in the nose and you wanted to put a heavier Lion pack or something that you want to build, that would also work as well. But here's the top half. You can see we took the dihedral out. You can see that we added our ailerons on. And the way our ailerons are working, we have them as flaperons. So both ailerons are acting as flaps when they're in the neutral position. Let me see if I can get this. You can see how they're both down. Okay, so both of these are acting as flaperons. The ailerons are acting as flaperons. You can see how they have they're both slightly downwards in the neutral position. So they are acting like landing flaps. When I came in to land, it was a really nice, slow landing to the point where I probably could have caught it in my hand. So this is definitely something different. I have not tried this on any other plane. So with our little 3S, I'm not sure the flight time. I only flew it a little bit yesterday and I had too much reflex in the elevator. So it was trying to do loops whenever I went manual mode. So I need to get some more test flights in, but did we laminate? Okay, so we need to come over the top of this one with laminate. So that's something that we didn't get. So, but yeah, Radiomaster R81. I know it looks like we have Crossfire, but it's not. Radiomaster R81, and it's just kind of, connected to our BIME A, which is, converts everything over. So we got the BIME A in the very nose of it. Our battery slides down into that cavity and it does go below the wing. So the battery just slides, you put your cables facing upwards and as you can see, the battery just slides in there. And it's such a snug fit that the battery's not sliding around, but it will go all the way in there. I'm catching onto a connector or something, but it will go all the way in there if I'm using both hands. But the way the CG is, the CG is already balanced without the battery. So we actually leave the battery pretty close to the nose, about right there to balance it, because our CG mark is about right here. So little 30 amp Zod ESC, and that's it, man. We have a power out here for a VTX. We are going to put a VTX on here. I'm thinking about using our little 1S VTX that we can power off of our rudder port, because since we're not using a rudder on this, we have that rudder port. We can run the 5 volts out of that, power our VTX. And I think we're going to do the same thing how we did before. We're going to have our camera up here on the top where we can put our pan servo on there, and we can look to this wing, look to that wing. So right above the CG is where the camera is going to be. We're going to mount it in here and then have our I'm not sure if we're going to put the either the Runcam 3 split or the Runcam 4 split. Either one, because I have those two. I have one on the Kopaki wing, but I think I'm going to take that one off the Kopaki wing, and we're just going to continue using the Runcam 5 since it's such a big wing that we can put the Runcam 5 on there, won't hurt it. Obviously, we can't put the Runcam 5 on this because that would throw it off big time. So this is our Model Glider 1, and we still have 2 more left that we're going to build up. But yeah, using that 3 mil laminate, dude, it feels really sturdy with the laminate on there. Everything's laminated, so and I left the walls thick. On my other one, I had it so skinny, that was partially why it broke. And the floor went down further. So on this one, you can see the floor starts to curve down about right here to get our battery in. But up here in the nose, everything's thicker for structural support. Just in case you nosedive it and you crash it inwards, this should resist a nosedive because of how light it is. So, and we're running this weird Kopaki prop. It's a 6x6, almost a 6.5 by 3, almost a 6.5 by 4, pretty much. It's some weird number, oddball size. So that does really well, and we have the brake set so it will stop. But I think we might put our folding prop back on here, our 7x6 with the folder, because that was doing really well. So we'll have to see, because right now we're running these 3S packs, and I think a 7-inch prop would be overkill on 3S. I think this, I mean, it will run the 7-inch on 3S, but I think this 6-inch prop is working really well. So we're going to keep testing this out, guys. Stay tuned.